Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for joining me today. I just want to do a political reading on some of the main things in the news, particularly the crash of the jet in Iran. And I did read on it immediately when I heard it on the news a couple of days ago, and I got that it was done purposely, yes, but really there may have been a mistake in identification of the plane. They may have thought it was a fighter jet from the U.S. So, or a U.S. ally. So that might have been, that's where the error came in. Let me read on it though and see if I get that today. And it's so tragic. 176 souls. 176 went home. And their families are left to grieve. So it's very, very, very sad, very tragic, very unnecessary. In the heart of the matter, we have the Ace of Wands, opportunity, the challenge, the Emperor. Yeah, there was an opportunity to strike, yes. The challenge was that they were under orders to shoot down any enemy aircraft or aircraft invading that space. There was a confusion. There was the assumption that all flights were being redirected away from that airspace because many were, but that one wasn't. So they were acting under orders. They were acting under the law. So okay, I see the confusion here. All right. Underneath it all, we have the Four of Cups. They're not hearing the message. They're not taking the message. Pause. Wait. Look at what you've got here. They're not hearing it. Okay. Past. Six of Cups. Oh, the people who were in charge of this and making this decision they had military experience. They're military people, Air Force, perhaps, they're military. And so that's the mind frame they were in. We're carrying out our military orders. All right. Because that's the nostalgia card, looking back, the sort of old associations that affect your behavior now. And then we have the Three of Wands. Watching and waiting. Yeah, we're watching and waiting for the results of the black box. Immediate future, standing your ground. Okay. And I do think that's probably telling me that, yeah, we've got I think this is the right interpretation. All right. What about outcome of this, Spirit? Let's do outcome. There it is, the Queen of Wands. I got that one last time too when I asked that question. I saw a couple days ago that there would be investigation of this. Not this. It wasn't this. I mentioned it on a reading. Investigation. Of course, there's investigation of this, but investigation of whether or not Trump's decision to terminate Soleimani, to assassinate him, was legal. I mean, assassination is, of course, not legal. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's not legal. But the Trump administration would argue, well, this wasn't a leader, this was a terrorist. They changed its categorization and felt like that was enough. That's not just going to be accepted. I did see a few days ago there will be investigation into that. And just last night I heard on NPR that yes, there are lawsuits. There are challenges to this decision that wasn't legal. There are efforts to hold up international law and reinforce it in the face of this violation that I believe is a violation in spirit of the law. And that's what I believe. What am I? I'm no attorney. I'm no expert by any means, but there are attorneys arguing that it's a violation of international law, and there will be investigation. And this is the Democratic leadership that will be talking about that, because this flight, the downing of this flight, would not have happened had the first event, Soleimani's killing, had not happened. So I don't think Trump is getting let off the hook for this. A lot of blame will be laid at his feet, I believe. the clarification. Yeah, there's the attorneys. Yep. Consulting with the attorneys. People are very concerned about this violation of the spirit of international law. They're very concerned about that. Okay, we have the moon, secrets. There are secrets though. And it's in the outcome, so I'm thinking they may not all come out. So, oh my gosh, crazy. I wanted to read a little bit more about what motivated this order by the Trump administration to eliminate Soleimani. What was it? By the way, did you all see John Kerry talking, MSNBC, one of the programs, the later programs? He did a wonderful job of clearing up some misinformation and fake news about the history between Iran and the U.S. and making it clear that the fact that Iran was willing to do the nuclear deal in the first place was a huge cooperation by Iran, a great concession, because there was money that was owed to them that they did not get. They made some concessions here, and it was a very good deal. And for the U.S., and Trump backed out of it and made up, there's all kinds of misinformation about his reasoning. So what did motivate the elimination of Soleimani? There is a theory, apparently. A Wall Street Journal reporter wrote that there was scuttlebutt about Trump saying that he was pleasing certain senators whose support he would need in the upcoming impeachment hearing, and that he was doing this because they wanted it. Is that true? That we've got that 10. See, I just see money involved here. I do. I wish I didn't, you guys. I wish I didn't. But I see large financial interests involved in this decision making. And that we suspect have been involved in decision making about U.S. involvement in the Middle East in the past. We don't know. Nobody knows for sure, but yeah, it should be investigated. And then we have the Hierophant as the challenge, the government. Yeah. The challenge is to get money out of government. The challenge is we should never, ever be doing anything militarily to serve financial interests. That's just wrong. Just absolutely wrong. Okay, so we do need it investigated. We really do. That's the challenge card, though. It's not the outcome card. So how much investigation will there be? We have the Queen of Coins underneath. There's that Queen of Coins again. That, I always feel like maybe some wealthy donor. And then we have, the Knight of Wands in the past, which has usually been investigations being held up. We may not get the answer to this question then. Above it all is Trump. That wealthy merchant that he so often shows up as in my readings. Okay, in the immediate future, we've got the Temperance Angel. Gradually. Okay, so we may find out more about what motivated this and just how it came about. I don't know that we'll find out all of it, but we may find more about it. It's just so suspicious, so incredibly suspicious. Okay, I want to see about Mike Pompeo. What kinds of consequences does he get? Because he was apparently part of planning this. He's our lead diplomat. What's he doing? Big fail. I don't know what's going on there. And what comes of Mike Pompeo out of his involvement with this whole situation? The Emperor, the law. Okay. We've got the Six of Cups, though he does have friends and associations. We've got the Four of Cups in the present. So he is, the law is looking at him, though, saying, again, was that legal? So he'll be part of that investigation. That legal challenge. This was an illegal action. And what was your involvement in that, Pompeo? Okay. In the future, though, he holds his ground. And But he's watching and waiting and stressed out. You know, what's coming in as a result of this. And we have the Democratic leadership rising. This is another thing that causes the Democratic leadership to rise, the rise that we've seen in the House and the rise that we will see in general. So, yeah, it's just lots of bad press I see for him, lots of criticism. It costs him more than he thinks it will. But as far as serious legal consequences to him, no. But it costs him a lot more than he thinks it will. You know, the Republicans are not going to be dominant in governmental positions for forever. You know, that time is coming to an end. Slowly, though, you guys. I wish I could say quick. But that's going out. That is going out. All right. Let me look at... Oh, I still have hope for the future for U.S.'s involvement in the Middle East, or lack thereof, you know, pulling out, being more responsible. Is there good reason to have that kind of hopefulness in the future? We have the Four of Cups reversed. So that means this stubborn attitude of I'm not hearing it is going to be reversed. That's good. We'll have the beginning. We'll have the beginning. Okay. So I see. Yeah. All right. I wanted also to know what becomes of Bolton's offer to testify at the Senate. So now he's offered, he said, if I'm subpoenaed, I'll testify. I have a funny feeling they're just not going to subpoena him anyway. But what comes of that? Does Bolton testify? Does he eventually testify? Though he's got truth that's rattling in the cage, waiting to come out, waiting to be grabbed. I have something to tell you. And then he said that. Challenge is Four of Swords, retreat. Okay. Underneath it all, we have the Six of Coins. Again, money is involved here. And then above it all, though, we have the Knight of Swords. I don't feel like that's good. Sometimes that's shown up as particularly Republicans will belief in just winning, just go. Just don't think it all through. You know, we're just going to win. We're just going to win. We don't have a mature or complex or you know, lengthy view of the situation, but we're going to win right now. So that's interesting. Okay. If he's allowed to testify, there's going to be some real limits on it. Standing his ground, though. He's going to make another statement about it. At some point, he will say again. He'll have an official statement that says, yes, I will testify if subpoenaed. Man, they may have to bring him because of that. Eight of Coins. You know, it may be just part of the process. It should happen, and they feel like they have to give a nod to it. Ace of Coins. Hermit. But yet, they don't want to do something that will decrease their security in the Senate or the security of the presidency. So, you know, meaning they want the Republican president in office. I'm not sure, you guys. I don't feel in my gut that Bolton's going to be given free rein. If he does testify, I think there will be limits upon it. Is that true? Strength, right. Because the Republicans still are in too great of a position of strength to call the shots over there. They may not even have him. They're balancing their options right now. But if they have him, it'll be more of a, let's make it into a farce. So, yeah. I would have hugely high hopes for that, actually. Plus, he may cooperate with the Republicans to some extent. Because he doesn't want to lose their support. You know, he's looking at the past, and he was liking being considered a good Republican, which is now a Republican who absolutely just falls in line with the dominant plan. So, okay. Yeah, interesting. All right. What else was it I wanted to read on? Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, Manny J asks, um, will our military leadership finally turn on Trump and remove him from office to save the US? So I will read on it. I know what my intuition says about it, but I will read on it to see. We'll use this deck. Okay. Let's see. We've got the Knight of Cups. They're busy wanting to impress him. The Devil is the challenge card. They're stuck with him. They actually need his approval to advance their careers right now. Because that man will stand up and say, oh, I don't believe this person should be promoted in the military. I believe this person should be pardoned in the military. He'll do that, so he'll get all involved. Ace of Wands underneath. Opportunity, sure. Okay, so Spirit is offering the opportunity. Hey, you could do it. You could do it. You could do it. But will they do it? Past six, no, all the associations and the loyalties. They're not going to do it. Above it all, justice. But justice is above it all. The Department of Justice. Okay, so justice, the legal system would need to be involved. In the future, we do have the Three of Cups. I just kind of think he's going anyway. I think he's going anyway. And there will be celebration about that. I think he's going, but by different means. So, and when he's going, there's a question too. There's a question too. It may not be before the election. Yeah, it really, to me, my gut is saying, well, and I shared this with you guys already last spring. My gut was saying, no, he will not be removed before the election. So, yeah. And that was a switch, when he didn't take the opportunity, I believe he was given to resign last spring. Then, he won't be out before the election, I believe. All right. Well, see, now that's a depressing note to end on. But, but again, it's stuck. Why is it stuck? Manipulation. Knight of Cups. Maybe more of a message for us. There is a lot of manipulation there. Okay. All right. Well, Spirit, is there anything else you want us to know about all of this? Let's see. 7 of Coins. 10 of Cups. Yep. 8 of Coins. Okay, so what I think this is about families. That's what's going to turn the tide against Trump, is ultimately when a president fails to improve the lives of the constituents, and in fact the constituents lose ground during his presidency, financially, economically, as far as their security goes, as far as their ability to keep their family well and secure goes. That's that's when presidents are out. That's when they're out. Because they must, sometimes the facts are just there. The facts are there. What has he done to improve things for the American workers? They're not really making that much more. There was a wage increase this last year of like 2.5%, which is cost of living increase anyway. It's the increase you would need to account for inflation. So it did not measurably improve anybody's quality of life or ability to purchase things. At the same time last year, the cost of health insurance increased again. Every time it's increasing over 15% every year. How can we keep up with that? At the same time, tuitions increased last year. At the same time, costs of a number of goods increased a little bit because of the trade war. Housing continues to go up. So as the American workers see that this president doesn't seem to be able to stop that trend either, and in fact may have speeded it up with his tax cuts for the very wealthy, that's what's going to bring him out. That's what's going to bring him out. All right. And that just, you can't, he really uses a lot of propaganda and a lot of rallies to lie about that and to get people to believe they're financially better off. But the bills don't lie. So there we have it. I really do. I just see some Trump supporters in the next year going, or the next several months going, yeah, it looks like he's a lot more like other politicians than we thought. And that's not going to be good for him politically. All right. Well, I thank you all so very, very much. You take care. Keep being involved. That's a great thing to do as a citizen, to be involved. All right. Bye-bye.